You started this RV company. I would love for you to share with the audience here the origin of what made you start an RV rental company.
It's one of those pain into purpose stories. I had bought my wife an RV for her 10-year wedding anniversary, and I had it set up all nice at Grand Haven State Park there in Michigan. And, the mat was out and the scene was all set. And I'm, husband of the year. And she walks out of the camper and tells me she's going home. And I think, well, I forgot something. But then she went on to say she's not coming back.
Uh-oh.
She was miserable. She was not having a good time. And the plot thickens. It was, she was 7 months pregnant with number 4, and she was chasing a toddler around. So in her defense, there's more to the story, but it sounds a lot cooler if I say it that way, like, oh my gosh, happy failure. And literally I'm sitting around a campfire feeling sorry for myself. And I had entrepreneurial experience, real estate experience. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to take this thing, I'm going to put it up for rent on Craigslist. And literally within a couple hours, the bookings started coming in, and you know how it is as entrepreneurs, the light bulb goes off and we're off to the races.
Wow. All right, Gar, I've been married for almost 30 years. I gotta clear the air on something here. You could tell me if I'm wrong. The RV, was it your idea or was it her idea?
Oh yeah, it was totally my idea. I thought this was going to be the perfect, we're going to create memories with the children around a campfire and do all the things. And
okay. Yeah. So, all right. This was Gar's RV that the wife got for her anniversary.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure with the audience that we've got this all ironed out here, because now we all see what's going on.
Yeah, I like that, Frank. I don't think I've probably done 100 podcast interviews. Nobody's spelled it out like that before.
Come on, dude. I've been married 30 years. I know how it goes.
Yeah,
that's great.
So,
I've done a little bit of the same thing. I've brought the car home that I thought we would like, but meanwhile, it was really the car I really wanted. I've done that. I've made that mistake before. I did the boat thing once before too. I've actually made the mistake twice. So yeah, maybe I'm not as bright as you. You only did it once. I made a mistake 2 times.
I love that.
So, all right. So you put this RV on Craigslist. I'm shocked. You start getting these bookings. Nobody else was really doing that at this time, right? This wasn't a popular thing?
Actually, what I quickly discovered is, so you know how there's Airbnb for short-term rentals? Yeah. Well, there was a company that had just started a year before I did this called RVShare. Okay. Similar story. A guy takes his family around the country in an RV. He gets back home. And he decides he's going to rent it, and he realizes there's no platform to rent it on. There's no Airbnb. Sure. So RVShare was literally founded a year before I started doing this. And so it was literally kind of ground floor how all this was evolving.
Wow, that is exciting. And also, I'm thinking on Craigslist, like, who's even going to think to look to rent an RV on Craigslist?
I know, it's interesting. As I think back of how this all started, I guess Craigslist was like the Facebook marketplace of the day. Because in my mind, looking back now, 8 years, I'm like, yeah, I guess Craigslist is kind of where I went for things,
Right. So I got to share the numbers. I think the audience is going to be blown away. So you started this in 2016. You franchised in 2022. You have like 55 franchise locations in 2 years.
Yeah. So what I did was I had a credit counseling business that was already I was operating at the time, and one of my mentors in that space taught me about business in a box and mentoring and opening up different locations. So I was kind of following that model with the RVs. It literally started. Our second location was a guy in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan was in a Facebook group, and I said, hey, why don't you be my beta test and we'll open a location. I'll teach you the stuff I've learned. And then I went on to, hey, I got a business in a box that's $995. And then I went to, hey, I have a business in a box that's $4,995. And then $10,000 and then $15,000. And then in 2022, I had no intention of doing this. It was God gets all the glory for this. It was literally the Lord put it on my heart. You need to franchise. And I would love to say, as soon as he told me that, I was like, yes, Lord, I'll obey. It was like, no, that's a awful idea. Why would I go spend a bunch of money and walk through this long, laborious, legalistic, like all this process. And
Right.
so it took me a couple months to finally say, okay, I'll do it. And then we walked through the year process.
Okay.
So at that time we had maybe about 8 or 9 partners, I guess you would call them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went through the process. We rolled them into the franchise model, and then it was off to the races.